Welcome to the channel where all you gotta do figure out what happened to this thing. So I posted a video last week on this teardown of this S85 V10, and I came up with what I believe is the wrong conclusion on what happened after thinking about it a couple of days and doing a little bit of checking. I mentioned in the video that I think what happened was it dropped the intake valve, and then a bunch of chaos occurred, and then when they tried to restart it, it hydraulic this rod, which isn't 100% wrong, but I think the order of events that happened were slightly different. After thinking about it and doing some checks, I think what happened was this thing got overheated and it warped the cylinder head really bad on this cylinder, which I've used my fancy tool here to check, and it's about, I'll show it a little bit closer later, but there's like a millimeter gap there, right here. Not so much here, but here. And there's oil ports and water ports in this very vicinity. So if this head warped, oil pressure, which is under pressure, and antifreeze, which is under pressure, would flood this cylinder with coolant and oil. The combination of that would allow this manifold that's connecting all the intake. All the intakes are connected together by this guy here, through this little chingadera here. So if this was full of water and subsequently fed by pressure, it would fill up all these cylinders with water and oil, which is, let's face it, that's what that stuff is. So I think what happened was this one hydraulicked a lot, bent the shit out of the rod, which tilted the piston and then had valve contact. This one bent the rod a little bit, but didn't cause enough bending to damage the valves. So I think that's what happened. I think this thing got overheated somehow, which might explain the fact that the cooling fans were missing off the car when I got it. I don't know. I'm speculating there. But I think it bent this rod and it bent this rod, which are 6 and 10. I have my firing order backwards, or my cylinder numbering backwards. Domestic engine, the cylinder bank in the front, like the farther forward cylinder bank, is number 1. But this one, it's just the passenger side. Right side of the car, front, is number 1. Which is conventional for a Ford, because that bank is forward, but this one's opposite. So for some reason I assumed it was the same rule. It's not. I did some research, and so I had the numbering a little bit backwards, but it doesn't matter. We still have the same demise of the V10. But I think that's what happened. This one got a really bent rod, enough to contact the pistons, and this thing is very warped. Let me bring you in for a close-up of. Those are pretty good. That one, it might even be 1.5 millimeters. Anyway, it's a lot. All the rest of these are straight, but this part here is very bent. So one other piece of information that led me to this video making is this cylinder could have been smashed so many times by the piston that it made it warped. But if that was the case, it would be warped in this direction, which it isn't. So I think that's what happened, but put some feedback in the comment if you disagree. Again, I'm not opposed to disagreements. Thanks for watching. If you like this content and want more, subscribe, like, and share.